I'd like to talk about the films I saw last night at Amazon Prime, and it's called Frantz. I think this is a German film, but the language is both the German and the French. And it's about, this is directed by François Ozon. That seems like a French director. And 2016 film, but it's about the story of like a World War One, after World War One, post-traumatic disorder type of person. And so Anna is wife of this husband who was killed in France. And so they have this cemetery to honor him, and she goes there almost every day to put the flowers and so forth. And then one day she saw this young guy was visiting that particular cemetery, and so she wondered who that is. And it turns out this person came all the way from France to pay tribute to this particular soldier who is Frantz. His name is Frantz. And so they get to know slowly, and so they somehow, because of this complicated story, emotional content and so forth, I cannot divulge that much there, but it's about this young man from France came to pay respect to this Anna's husband, and they seems to be friends there in France. So Anna was kind of delighted to see, any information about France she could hear, but the story goes from there to a little bit, like a romantic, tragic resolutions there. So I cannot divulge, but I think the movie itself used the black and white photography, which is beautiful cinematography. Sometimes the flashback area is sometimes like a muted color, and most of them are the black and white. Shot in reality is shot in black and white, and so this is about 1919 area at the time. So you can see the particular ambience of post-World War One, and French and the French and the Germany, they are not really friendly to each other, but they understand that just after the war, you have to accept the other countries or whatever. And so the woman who played Anna was excellent. I really liked her. She was, in the beginning, she was very sad and resigned position where, she could meet husband anymore, and but she is living with Frantz's parents. So when this old young friends showed up at a cemetery, they are more or less like delighted to see him, because anything they could get information from the Frantz information, they will be delighted. And so they kind of are very nice to him, but there's a lot of complication there, and ending was also very poignant and kind of a complicated things there, and So I felt this film is excellent. It's a 2016 film, and I think that some movie festival they got the awards and so forth. But I kind of tremendously recommend. This is a kind of movie that if you appreciate the cinematography and the beautiful story and very I don't know, kind of a sad story, but kind of a strong story, strong life affirming story there. So it's a good film. I really think that this is the movie for anyone who loves the arty film, artsy film, and they especially those people who love the like a black and white effect in the film. Black and white is more or less like you depict the olden days, like where movie were all black and white. And during that time, you depict a kind of a time period, but at the same time, it's kind of shows the skill of cinematography, because black and white, you can really focus on the compositions and the scenery, the scenes, and with just the light and dark. And I think that's pretty much like, I think there's a place where black and white cinema has a very art-oriented effect, I think. So I strongly recommend that if you love art movie, I really recommend that you see the story was nice, and also kind of a heartwarming, positive ending, I would say, even though story was sad, but it's still positive at the message at the end. So it's called the Frantz, Frantz, and that's 2016 film, I think from Germany, I think. Okay, bye.